Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the BAM Builder Series. We're talking with some of the most important builders, researchers, and architects in Solana on why they believe BAM is the future of Solana market structure. Today, we're joined by Nick from AlphaQ. Nick, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing great, Andrew. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Really happy to have you on with us. So I think let's kick it off. Just try and tell the folks listening, who are you, what are you building, and what are you bringing to the Solana ecosystem?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. I'm Nick. I'm part of the team working on AlphaQ, and we built a proprietary AMM as a directional bet on the growth of high quality on chain assets. In the years ahead, we expect a lot more assets to come online, both from TradFi issuers and from new DeFi native assets. We believe that the scale that we need for diverse and competitive on chain markets is only possible on Solana. And that's why my team's building on it.
It's a great answer. Bullish to hear that kind of stuff too.
Ah,
Um, I think there's what Solana is now and what Solana is going to be, right? So, as you're trying to bring these assets on chain and offer these services, what kind of market structure challenges have you run into so far, and where are the pain points that you're experiencing when it comes to Solana's execution?
yeah, as everyone knows, how Prop AMM works is we are constantly posting market updates on chain. And when AlphaQ first launched, nearly 100% of our market oracle updates would consistently land on chain. However, today we did notice that it's measurably reduced, and we believe that there may be some scheduler games going on. So, because we're not able to land our market updates with 100% as we had when we launched, that forces us to adjust our pricing models, and it affects how competitive of a trade that we can offer to our users.
Yeah, that's when you talk about consistency like that, I think sometimes users don't really understand what that means for them in terms of the spreads they're getting, in terms of the quality of the execution. So, really good answer there. Um, how do you think BAM solves that problem from a practical perspective? What is BAM going to do for you that you can't do today that then downstream helps out the users of Solana?
Yeah, today on Solana, as in many other blockchain systems, the validator, that's the current leader, kind of has the keys to the kingdom. They can decide any transaction ordering, they can tune their scheduler however they wish. And because that tuning is not transparent nor public, it forces us to make some pessimistic estimates on, you know, what will the validator do to our Oracle updates. And because of that, yeah, as I mentioned, we just have to make certain pessimistic guarantees, and that's kind of the state of things. However, with BAM, no matter how with BAM, how we see it is that once these scheduling rules are both transparent, meaning that it's open sourced, and that we can be confident that's what all of the leaders are executing, meaning that right the BAM nodes are executing the scheduler in the TEE. Um, Everyone will know the rules of the system. And for example, that may be like 50 millisecond batch auctions today. And in the future, maybe that goes down to 20 milliseconds. But whatever those rules may be, they're public and transparent and also enforced. And so we can then make tighter assumptions about how the on chain systems will behave. Once we have those tighter assumptions, we're able to offer more competitive markets to our users. And what that means at the end of the day is that swaps will execute with better prices. And our hope is that by offering better prices to the Solana ecosystem on chain, we'll bring more users on chain. And that's a very exciting flywheel for the ecosystem.
Yeah, I love that vision of the future. Can you tell me what happens if we don't get to those changes though? You touched a little bit on the Oracle plugin and being able to offer tighter spreads and attracting more liquidity because of that, more aggressive pricing. But if nothing changes today, where do you think we go and what issues do you expect your application facing if things just maintain in status quo?
Yeah, the way that these systems usually evolve is that MEV actors become more and more sophisticated. And so, if transparency and enforcement of open source rules um, doesn't kind of come on chain, then we would expect these scheduler games to worsen and worsen. And what that could look like materially is that perhaps there are certain adversarial leaders that we know that when it's their turn, they refuse to land any AlphaQ market updates. And so, if we know that that's how these leaders will behave, when their turn is coming up, we may even have to disable our AlphaQ markets just because, for example, they won't allow us to land any Oracle updates for that 1.6 seconds or even 3.2 seconds if they have a double turn. And yeah, that would be bad for us and for our users.
It sounds like it would certainly lessen liquidity and trading volume, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Um, but inversely, though, let's look at the more optimistic side of that. 18 months from now, we have deterministic execution. People are running BAM. Market makers such as yourself can really offer those types of spreads. You can offer that pricing. What becomes possible, in terms of the type of trading experience and the type of liquidity that Solana could see as a result of that?
Yeah, generally, we're very excited and optimistic for the future. We think that with advancements in BAM, on chain spot liquidity will deepen. And what that means is uh, users will be able to trade more tightly and also in larger size on chain. And we believe that that creates a positive flywheel where this liquidity will attract on chain activity. The on chain activity drives volatility. And then the volatility draws more users and attention to Solana, attracting again more liquidity on chain. And that's the future we're hoping that the ecosystem is moving towards.
Me too. Um, Nick, really appreciate your time today. I know you're a very busy man. But before we let you go, I think, market structure isn't the sexiest subject, but it's tremendously important. And, not everybody necessarily understands it as well as you do. So if you could just, talking to another Solana founder, for instance, in one sentence, can you say why you think BAM is important and why people should care about it?
Yeah, to put it briefly, imagine explaining to a portfolio manager why they experienced $1 million loss immediately after their on chain trade because they were sandwiched by a sophisticated MEV block builder. That whole thing sounds like nonsense. And so it's very easy to see why fair and deterministic transaction guarantees are one of the key unlocks to onboarding the next $1 trillion of TradFi capital onto Solana.
Those are numbers I like to hear. Nick, really appreciate your time and looking forward to seeing what AlphaQ does in the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
Thanks.